So the second part of the beginner to intermediate footpath is hooking, is just staying in set, forcing yourself to stay and converse. This is just as daunting as doing sets that are tough, that require some guts, because it requires guts to stay there, right? Once you've approached, you just want to get the hell out of there. You don't want to stay there. You don't want to sit and talk, for the most part. If those nerves are still kicking up in you, you don't want to be there, right? You'd rather just approach, say a little bit, hope something's gonna happen, but something probably not gonna happen, and then you get the hell out of there, right? But you need to train yourself, just like approaching in various different scenarios. Train yourself to stay right there for at least 2 minutes. In the previous video, I talked about RSD Ozzy teaching his, shout out to him. It was a very big influence on the way I approached cold approach. No pun intended, but right. And he told his students, when they did an approach, obviously they're challenging themselves, but stay in for at least 2 minutes. At least 2 minutes. The way you're not approaching and running away. You're training yourself, boots down, to stay there, to get in the muck, to feel it, to feel that uncomfortableness. Because there's nothing wrong with the uncomfortableness. The uncomfortableness, there's nothing wrong with it. You're doing something new. You're stepping into a new territory. You're pushing past boundaries. That's okay. That's a good thing. And you want to accustom yourself to doing that. So that's what I would say, right? Force yourself. You're going out. You're doing approaches. Possibly you're doing some challenging approaches. 2 minutes. Force yourself to stay in set 2 minutes. Stay there. Don't move. Don't go anywhere, right? You're not running away for nothing. There's nowhere else to go. 2 minutes. Force yourself. Talk for as long as you can, right? But a lot of things will come up in guys' heads. Guys will be like, well, I don't want her to feel, crowded. I don't want her to feel like she has to stay. I don't want her to feel like, I don't want to feel like I'm boring her to death. I don't want to feel like I have nothing to talk about, right? These are commonplace fears that a lot of guys have. The antidote to fear, because fear is usually irrational, 9.5 times out of 10, what you fear doesn't happen, which is something good to keep in mind, right? Also in the approach part, right? Your biggest fear, your worst fear, is usually never confirmed. It's usually just in your head, right? So you have a fear that she's gonna feel claustrophobic, that you're keeping her there beyond her will. But guess what? She can always say, go to hell. I don't want to talk. I got somewhere to go. You can always say that. And actually, as you get more experience, you realize girls have no problem saying that. They have no problem telling you, get the hell away from me. I'm going to my nail appointment or whatever like that. They have no problem doing that, right? So you don't actually have to worry about that. She's gonna bring it up. No problem, right? You're worried about boring her. First of all, she's a stranger to you, you're a stranger to her. She doesn't expect backflips and fireworks while talking to a stranger. It's just a conversation. It's just a regular conversation that she would have with anybody else. She doesn't expect you to do acrobatics or to carve figures out of ice, right? Magic tricks. None of that. It's just a conversation. So what would she expect? Just a conversation. That's it. You don't have to worry about boring her or saying something witty and amusing, especially in the beginning, right? As you get better, as you improve your conversational skills, that's when you start working on, I can add this in, I can add this in, this is unnecessary. But now, as you're just building the momentum, you're forcing yourself to stay in set, to be there, 10 toes down, as they say, and just talk. That's all you want to do. That's where you want to have your focus. Stay in every set you do for 2 minutes. Give it 2 minutes. Stay there. Sweat pouring off your head, you're shaking. Stay there. I've been there. I know how you feel. I know what it feels like. And I'm damn glad that I stayed there. I'm damn glad that I was able to push myself in that regard. If you can't do 2 minutes, because maybe you can't, right? Start off with 30 seconds. Start off with a minute. And work your way to 2 minutes. Work your way to 5 minutes, right? Work your way into longer time frames. But choose a designated time frame and stay there. Force yourself to stay there. I guarantee that will also make a huge dent in your fear, in your falling off of the set, and uptick your results over the long term. Because you need to be able to stay in set anyways in order to get results. So try that. Choose a designated time. Maybe start out with 1 minute. Stay in set for 1 minute. Work it all the way up to 5 minutes, where you force yourself to stay in set and talk. And none of your worst fears will ever happen anyways, because that's, again, fear is mostly all in your head. So go out and practice. Leave your experiences down below, and I will see you in the next one.